Hello and welcome to a Roblox stage tutorial. Now, this tutorial will work on most stages on Roblox, as in it follows the principles more than certain stages. But don't worry though, it is relatively simple. So, let's get started. Now, what you see here is what we call a sort of we're calling this a sort of like a standard panel for lighting. Okay, I know you can ignore the other ones to the side, but we're looking at this one. Okay, they are the same, but we're looking at this one. They do come in different shapes and sizes, as in like this is like two small ones here instead. But they all work exactly the same though, these ones do. And they're very common. And they're arguably the best ones you can get. In this video I'm using the ones in my game. There's a link in the description as well, but it works on all different games that use these as well. But for now, that's just there if you want it. So, maybe start from top to the bottom. So as you can see at the top, we've got our lovely colours and functions. It's very straightforward. You press the colour, and the light, as you can see there, will change to the said colour you pick, whether it's on or off. It'll save the colour you've selected, your rainbow, and it'll change to that. Okay, once it starts. Very simple. Alright. So, beneath this is a few other buttons. The only important ones here though are the A and B buttons, because they represent what is selected in what lights you're controlling. So always have them both selected, unless like the rig you're using is programmed more complexly. But in this game though, it is best to add them all on, because it makes zero difference. Other than it might just stop the panel from working until you activate them again. With them is also the Q button, where I presume you can program preset instructions. However, I can't get this to work, I know how it does, but once I do know, I'll make a part 2. But if you do know something about this though, do put it in the comments, because yeah, I'm trying to figure this out. If I find out in the future though, yeah, I'll make a part 2 of this video. Now, moving down, we have the how to turn the lights on and off buttons. Okay, the different modes here for on and off. So the first one is the OX button, and then the FOX button. And now these are pretty much just like your on buttons. So I'll show you now. So we have like the normal one is just your on, and then the FOX is like, which OX means like the on off, I guess. I'm not sure exactly. But then the F there represents the fade on. See the difference there? You look closely now. With the normal one like that, very harsh, and you got the nice fade on. Now, to turn off the lights is pretty simple. So let's say you've got the lights on like this, in this case it's yellow. If you want to turn it off though, the button for that, you can't press the same button again, won't do anything. You got to press the reset button. And what that does, it just, well, it's in the name, it resets the light, so that turns it off in all cases. And so let's say something's breaking or whatever, always just press your reset buttons. It's the same thing you can do, it always works. But always make sure that you've got the correct letters selected, because sometimes these select on these by accident and they won't work, you'll be really confused. So check the letters and just press reset if it's all bugged and whatnot, and that'll fix it. Now, the other buttons here represent the other modes. Like rand is, I believe rand is random, so like sort of like presses random ones. And again though, the F one is like, you know, random, but it fades the random lights. It's also a bit slow, but like it's like now faded, and you can combine these and whatnot like that. Strobe as well, like reset that and then press strobe. See, that's like a nice like big bright strobe drawn. Things what I recommend with this is just trying them out, you know, press the buttons, and I think eventually you'll get what they all do. Now, there are also some cues here. These ones are set, I don't know why, but they are. But these ones sort of have some presets of animations, and they sort of change after a while. With these though, I don't think you can change them, but if you'll have a look, like, you know, they are there. Again though, you can like put multiple at once here as well. Thing is, that normally looks really bad like this, so it's just reset it and it all resets. Now and again it takes a second to reset, but that, you know, that's how that works. Now after this is the beam controls. This is pretty self-explanatory, so if you quickly press the fade on button to show you the lights, you can then change the thickness like that. Look at that, see, it's nice and thick, or really thin. And the brightness, which doesn't really make much difference, I'm gonna be honest, the brightness. But again, these are like drag left and right controls. Now under this is the movement controls. Now the top layer is the back and forth button, so how far backwards it moves and forwards. And beneath that is the rotation, the back and forth swivel. So if you happen to use my stage design, link in description, what you might notice with these lights is they do start like this. That's just how I put them on the map, but what I recommend, you pretty much just do 90 and 90, and they sort of go in this lovely pattern like this. So, which is a mixture of like using like the swivel and the whatever you'll call it, positioning and whatnot. And the idea is you sort of like, you know, you rotate it in the same direction, then you swivel it downwards to the point where you want it to point. One after the other, and eventually you'll just remember like you know, different combinations are really nice and whatnot. Now beneath here are the presetted movement controls. Maybe also, what does that mean? So we'll start with the left first because the right is really simple. So with the left, we've got the first one, the top left, with like single time animations. Now, to be honest, I don't use them, so they kind of break it. So I'll demonstrate now. So sort of you press wide, it sort of moves it like that. And now it's sort of just broken like this, no matter what I really do, unless I reset it. So I personally do not use these ones. However, the ones beneath though are really good because these ones are like the looping ones, which would cause really cool effects happen. Like we got this, for instance, with the circle one, which as you can see, it makes a massive circle with all the lights. Now this does work on other ones as well. This is just like, it might look different on some lights with the positions, but this one looks really nice. Again with this one, however though, there's a reset button on the top right. It doesn't work here. So with this one, nor does 1990. You gotta just reset the entire thing and then turn it back on, which I know is annoying, but it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about that. To the right of this though, so that's like the really bad ones to the top left. That's the really cool like automatic ones. And here is the speed and the useless reset button that doesn't do anything. So the speed is pretty obvious. I'll do it in circle to demonstrate this properly. So let's say I want to make that a bit thinner. Increase the speed, I'll click on fast, and suddenly it goes much faster. That's pretty much it. And then we've got medium, which is M for medium. And then slow, bring it down first so you see it properly, and slow for slow, and then SS for super slow. Like, it does look different, like I said, because like now and again you've got, if you fast on this one, they sort of like blocky sort of, if that makes sense, they sort of pause longer. That's something you can sort of mess with. Another thing as well is they also have the Q speeds. Oh, I've sort of forgot about this one. Up here, Q speed. Now this one affects the top Qs and stuff. So right now it's going really fast, those flashes. I won't give that's too fast, it's too headache. I can then even make it faster like this, to make it even faster, or I can make it really slow. And he has some really cool effects. And then this speed is for the movement. So, now what I'm trying to say is, now you know the principles of how these works. I recommend you get to know them and try them out yourself, because that is the best way to get the hang of it. I have a little thing here to sort of demonstrate what you can do. This is a very, I don't know what you want to call this, but I hope this video has helped you in your conquest of lighting. If you want to see about any more specific scenarios or things I may have covered, do be sure to put them in the comments below with any info I haven't included, because it's always good to learn more about these things. But until next time, don't forget about the letters and the reset button and my game link in the description. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.